stories with you. Sometimes I think it's easier to look at the tragedies of life rather than to seek out and celebrate the miracles in life. In the book of Lamentations, which is a small 4-chapter book following the book of Jeremiah, Jeremiah the prophet is lamenting over the destruction of Israel. And amidst his loud cries and questions for God, we find a powerful verse of encouragement, 2 verses. And it's worth memorizing and applying to our own lives. It's tucked safely into that book of Lamentations that we don't know much about. And here's the 2 verses. The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies never come to an end. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. I heard a saying on the radio one time that really impacted me, and it was, God doesn't call us to be perfect. God calls us to be faithful as God is faithful. Always and in every generation, God still offers the world miracles. And yet we choose to focus on our suffering as if because we suffer, God is not present. Or God chooses to disregard our suffering rather than offer us the miracle that we seek. And we are called to minister to one another through good times and bad times. We're called to offer love and grace and acts of kindness and mercy to the lost and the lonely. Those around us that are in joy, those around us that are weeping. In this way, we use our discipleship as a tool for God to show the world Jesus Christ, to show the world that God is present in all that we do. God doesn't promise us an easy life, but what does God promise? God promises that He will be with us in every situation. God promises that we will not go through life alone. God promises that His grace will be enough for our needs. We stand on the promises that nothing in all of creation will ever be able to separate us from God's love. And if we truly believe in these promises, well then I ask you, why aren't we seeking to declare God's miracles? In our gospel text this morning, we heard the miracle story that we commonly call the feeding of the 5,000. It was Passover, and Jesus went up a mountain with His disciples. Now, we can suppose that when the people saw Jesus go up the mountain on this particular day, it may have reminded them back to a time in history when Moses went up the mountain to commune with God. And they knew what it meant for a prophet to climb up a mountain. And when Moses came down from the mountain, he carried the 10 Commandments, and if you remember, his face shone with the glory of God. And it's possible that in the same way, the people expected some kind of miracle from God through Jesus when He came back down that mountain. And so they followed Him to see what would happen. Now, when Jesus saw how many people were there, He turned to the nearest disciple, who was Philip, and asked him somewhat a puzzling question. Philip, where are we to buy bread for all these people to eat? Well, Philip must have panicked a little bit, and I know I would have. He was probably wishing that he was at the back of the line in the group of disciples at that moment, instead of standing right next to Jesus. And so Philip does sometimes what we do. He answers a question with a question. And Philip says 6 months' wages wouldn't be enough to buy bread for each one to get a little taste. Now, Andrew had seen a young boy with 5 barley loaves and 2 fish, and he tells Jesus, and Andrew asks another question. But what good are these among so many people? After all, what's the use of even considering feeding thousands of people with one small lunch? It's clear from the text that our disciples were not expecting a miracle. Why not? Why weren't they expecting a miracle? They had seen plenty of healing miracles. They were with Jesus. They spent time with him. They had seen lives changed and transformed right before their very eyes. Why not this time? Why not now? Why not a miracle for those that needed food? Most of us, like those disciples, don't expect a miracle. We aren't watching for a miracle to happen and don't expect to be part of a miracle. To make it worse, most people respond to a miracle with doubt and disbelief. We share our miracle stories, but are quick to follow up with a possible explanation to downplay the miraculous. Not even the disciples, those closest to Jesus, anticipated this miracle. Had they forgotten who it was they were with? Jesus loved them throughout their doubt. Jesus included them in the miracle. When he took the small amount of bread and the fish that they had from the boy and lifted it to God towards heaven and gave thanks, then distributed it, he invited the disciples to be part of that miracle. And you know what happened next. Everyone had plenty to eat, to the point that there were 12 baskets left over. Now, I don't know about you, but when I invite people over for a dinner party, I don't have more left over than I started. It hasn't happened, and it doesn't happen. That's why it's a miracle, right? An important lesson found in this story is the willingness of the boy to offer his lunch to Jesus. Faith is a big part, plays a big part in miracles. And the boy had faith that Jesus could do something with what he could give. The disciples had faith also in taking it to Jesus rather than dismissing the boy as being too small or too insignificant. Jesus uses the faith of those around him in conjunction with prayer to God to offer up a miracle on behalf of the people. And in doing so, he provided for their needs. And this is important. Jesus multiplied what he was given. And we would do well to learn that no matter how small the gift we have to give, God can multiply it and use it to bless others. Miracles do happen. They happen in God's time, they happen in God's way, and they happen for God's purposes. Jesus' compassion for the people that day led him to desire to feed them. His compassion for the people and his love for them accomplished the task by calling on those around him to be in communion with God to provide the miracle. His prayer was not an attempt to manipulate God, but an honest sharing of the needs of the one who had promised to fulfill our need. A young man offered all that he had with him, his lunch, and a miracle occurred. This was real bread and real fish, not a symbolic story, a food story. When we are at church today and we speak of offering bread to a hungry world, we are talking about both physical food and spiritual food. We are talking about offering Christ, who said, "I am the bread of life," by sharing the gospel story of Jesus' life, death, and resurrection. But we also offer Christ in tangible ways that meet a true physical need. An annual conference when we fill bags with dried vegetables, grain, and vitamins, we are offering to feed the hungry with food. We as disciples of Jesus and people who choose to be United Methodists offer the world the gospel, which is spiritual food as well as physical food. It is our calling to minister to the world in love by sharing our faith with acts of kindness and mercy along as well. Miracles are possible. They occur every day. Miracles can reveal God to us in a powerful way. But like this young boy, if we are to be part of the miracles of God in the world, we must give of ourselves as part of the miracles of God by being disciples ready and willing to be used by God to participate in God's work in the world. We all have miracle stories to share. If we pause and think about it, our our faith unites us with Almighty God, and God is doing miracles every day. I'd like to share with you my miracle story from something that happened to me in Washington when I was at Wesley Seminary. We went to the National Cathedral for Sunday worship. We parked in the parking garage located at the church, and we rushed up into the cathedral because we were told if you got there early, you could take pictures. And so we got there half an hour early, and we took pictures. And after worship, we spent a considerable amount of time in the cathedral, and we had lunch next door in the cafe. And when it was time to leave, we went to the parking garage and could not find the car. It was stifling hot and a very humid day. Myself and two other pastors wandered through the parking garage looking for my car. And yes, I was pushing that button like crazy, not hearing any beeping responding to me. Texted my daughter at home, we can't find the car. I don't know what I thought that was going to do. All that accomplished was she shared in my anxiety, and my anxiety level was growing and growing. And I was praying, the girls I was with were laughing, and I was praying, Lord, you know this isn't funny. And I'm getting fearful. And as one of my friends, Rebecca, said, well, maybe they'll let us live in the garage and we could sing in the choir on Sundays. And I said, that's not funny. So that's where I was. I was besides myself in fear and anxiety, and I was fervently praying. Well, we got off the second floor and noticed there was a ladies' room there, and my friend Joanne said, I'm going to use the restroom. Rebecca and I stood and waited. And a man came out of the restroom and made direct eye contact with me and said, you can't find your car. And I said, no, we cannot find the car. We have been looking for a long time. And he said, I want you to go up this staircase, but only go halfway. Turn and go through the door, and your car's in the first row. And then he walked away. And I turned and looked at Rebecca, and her mouth was hanging wide open, as was mine. And I was like, okay, that was different. When Joanne came out, we did exactly what he said. We walked up halfway, turned, went through the door, and there was my car, the third parking space in the first row. 3 United Methodist pastors got into my car, and we sat there in silence. When was your last miracle? Are you looking for a miracle? Are you living life with your eyes wide open to see the blessings of God that happen around you, for you and for others? And when you experience a miracle, will you share your story to let others know our God is alive and present and in the world? We serve a God of miracles. Thanks be to God.